course, we'll be answering questions from the YouTube and the maybe even the Facebook. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is Town Hall for server 50. If you want us to do this on your server, all you gotta do is ask, and we can attend, schedule a meeting, and it'll happen. But yeah, we'll get started just a second, everybody. Yay!
In the wintertime.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll go through the questions that y'all have written down first, and then we will, open up the floor and everything. We've got the YouTube up. We've got the Facebook up. We've got me up, which is probably the most important part of all this process since y'all invited me here. And Server 50 Town Hall going to be live, hosted by the wonderful folks, depending on who you ask, of OPA. Some people hate them, which is understandable. Others don't, which is confusing. But we're on their server at the moment. If you're on server 50 and are not part of this, don't worry. It's being recorded for your post-viewing pleasure or post-posting pleasure. I don't know. Whatever the words are. I'm not good with words. How's everybody doing? Doing well?
Great.
Doing great, Drev.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
This is just a so much positive energy. I don't know what to do with it. So much positive.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's Sunday night. It's the day before Monday, where most people are having to work in an office again, so nobody's really excited. It's okay.
Yeah,
We still love you.
I know, it's Sunday night. The day before Monday, where most people are...
Oh, we had to mute that one because I heard that. Feedback loop. So for those in the chat, both YouTube and who are here live, how this is going to work is pretty simple. We'll go through the questions that were asked. If you have a game mechanic question, officer question, random question about when photon tokens are coming, I don't know. We will answer those. Hopefully we'll get all those out tonight because tomorrow morning the video goes out for why, or I'm not even going to tell you what it is about. Well, I'm going to tell you what it's about. I'm not going to spoil it. But reviewing the TOS arc in its entirety, especially with part 3 wrapping up now, that video will drop in the morning. It's like 17 minutes long. I've got to find a way to edit it down a little bit. But I had a lot to say, as well as everybody else had a lot to say, because we ended up doing a channel just on the Discord and on YouTube, getting feedback on that one. And I'm sure everybody agrees it was the best thing to ever happen to the game. Yeah, Fran has, or Peaches has made displeasure known. Which, by the way, we're going to go ahead and answer the first question, which y'all should see on your screen, because I don't have the answer. Should we abandon all hope for loyalty tokens? Server 50 should have been someone been holding out since December. Was that okay? First of all, did I really announce that in December?
You did. It's been that long.
Wow, it has. Okay, so the only thing that I can remind people on, or at least say, is just remember that I found that by accident. Like, that's not something they went out and told the content creators or the moderators they were doing. Like, nobody knew except Scopely. And I just happened to be like, hey, I'm going to join a new server, and found it. So it's supposedly still in their quote-unquote testing phase. What needs to be tested about the most awesome thing to ever be invented? I don't know, but I have no update on when that is actually coming out. And I'll also add this, just to be completely, open with everybody. I really don't know if they're ever going to release that without a cooldown. Like, all those people have like 300 tokens saved up. I just can't see them allowing you to turn all those in at once. Yeah, so it's just we'll see when it happens. You do have a server that has it. It has not changed. It is still working on that server. And funny enough, it's OPA's sister server. It's Server 50's sister server and Server 51, because they typically launch in pairs. But we'll just have to wait and see. Wait and see. Exactly what y'all wanted to hear, isn't it? Yep.
So
Totally.
just cash in those 30 days.
like I said, I don't want to give you bad advice because what if they don't give a cooldown and then you get mad at Rev because somebody else cashed in for like a whole upgrade of Carol Marcus? I mean, do what you think is best. I mean, I'm sitting on like 65,000 Ultra Recruit tokens waiting on the day that they actually bring back another ×2 Ultra event. It's been like, what, 8 months? A year? I'm still holding on just in case. I'm still curious, should I blow my Doomsday? I got 1,100 Doomsday worm hook horn thingies left. Should I just go ahead and blow those now? Should I save them? What should I do? It's a tricky spot to be on because you never know how it's going to work out.
So you're a hoarder, is what you're saying.
For some things, I am. I don't hoard premium recruits. I don't hoard standards. I don't hoard the Federation Klingon Romulan recruits. But there are definitely things that I'll hoard because there have been valuable things that have happened in the past that made me go, I wish I would have had 100,000 Ultra Recruit tokens for this. Will those happen again?
Late gratification.
Yeah, it's but like, what if my patience turns into they put Harrison in the Ultra Recruit chest? Oh yeah, then you're gonna be super stoked that you've got 100,000 waiting. But what if they never do that? I don't know. So it has caused my officers to be a little bit underpowered because I'm not continually going through my ultras.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah, but like, for example, they're adding more officers to the transporter patterns this year. What are those officers going to be? Well, I mean, we turned in what we wanted them to be when we did our big, we did that big poll I essentially made, and we turned in over 5,000 players answered from the game, and they were grateful of that, and supposedly they're going to use that to determine, help determine what they're going to do. We'll see though. Like, I don't put anything and go like, "Yup, that's a fact." It's dangerous to do. Next on the question board, it's once again from Peaches. Creative ideas on how a top 5 to top 10 alliance can encourage aid growth of smaller teams. Things we might unknowingly be doing to hinder their growth, and do we qualify for a merge? On the latter point, highly unlikely. Servers that get merged are typically dead. Now, I know server 11, which is going through a merge right now, is semi-active. I'd say it's a mid-tier. Server 19 is much less active. And they do try to merge when they merge servers that are of similar age, similar vibrancy, things like that. Y'all are young and have way too many active people. So I'd be very surprised if y'all saw a merger anytime soon. As far as what you can do, I always encourage doing a lot of social events, I guess you could call them, where the game has us do a lot of the same boring events over and over and over and over and over again. So make your own events, reality wars, races across the galaxy versus different servers, OPC hunt contests between your members. Do something that it really gets everybody engaged in the game, because it's just not one of those games that always has a ton of fresh ideas. Things like Scramble Communications and the St. Patrick's Day event were really good. Those are nice, but they have been coming around sparsely. You really have to find your own fun, and that's what will set you apart. Everybody's going to join the number 1 alliance because they want the rewards. So you have to find a way to be more fun than the rewards, if that makes sense. Cool. Let's see. Last says, now that the Ascension event has unlocked on 50, should the non-whales take different actions to protect from the people moving up? Nope. There is nothing you can do versus a whale moving up. There's nothing different you can do. Just play your game. I try to tell people that if you're, say, 32, don't focus on the 40s at all. Who cares if they exist? You focus on the 28s through 34s, the people that you're actually fighting, and think of it like your tax bracket. Sure, you hate that 1%er, but you're never going to hang out with them. You're not going to rub elbows with them at the speakeasy. So just ignore them. Do your game, have your game, and when they come around to, bug you sometimes, well, that's just the real world peeking its head into the game that we love so much. Ignore them. They're just whales. Meh. That's what I do.
Copy that. Thanks.
Yeah, same.
Keep in mind, I've got 10 level 50s on my server, my main. So a little harder to ignore, but ignore them. Let them play their game. You play yours. If anything, if you could encourage your whales to get up stronger, and that way the whales fight the whales instead of coming down to bother you, because most of the time whales are annoying to most people because they're bored. Like y'all get. They get bored, they want to do something, and that turns into drama and randomly hitting people. That's just kind of the nature of the game, though. Help prevent whale boredom. Let's see. Late to the party. You've covered it in videos, but why is it important to skip ships as free-to-play light spender, and which ones would you skip and build? So the reason you want to do that is just saving resources, just because of the amount of grind you have to go through. I mean, you look at things like Uncommon Crystal. If you get all the ships that you might want, the Vidar, D3, Saladin, Horizon, Cavort, Antares, all those take crystal. Every single one of them. So you have to start picking what you want to do, or else you're going to be left with a bunch of like tier 4 ships that you can't upgrade. So I usually focus on the Vidar, I focus on the Saladin, and then I tell players to focus on getting more Horizons and then wait until the high 30s to start getting the faction miners. Because usually by the high 30s, you'll have earned a faction miner worth of blueprints anyway by hitting hostiles. And then when you finally do need the more warp range and you do need the bigger cargo capacity for raiding, go ahead and do it then. You could do it earlier, because I'll admit, when I was 32, I was hauling $1.5 million from bases as a raider, and it's nice. But in general, all that crystal is a complete waste in terms of you being efficient. It's better to have 1 or 2 max ships that are really, really good than 6 halfway ships that everybody can blow up. It's just going to lead to you getting frustrated. I think so. But you can do whatever you want. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the Stella. My best strategy for leveling the Stella and gaining rogue rep. Well, do your grind every day if you really want to. I scrap my Stella at about tier 5, which means I'm getting, 2 sets of rare plutonium, and then I'll scrap at the end instead of taking it any higher. As far as leveling, leave it out overnight against augments. Because I've got 3 factions, so I can't leave it out and let it auto level anymore. That's problematic. How many videos have I made? Good question. I have to let me look on YouTube real quick. Let me see. Maybe it'll tell me how many videos I've made. Let's see. I'm gonna say well over 300. I might say 400. Let's see. Content. I'm clicking on things right now in the background. If you're wondering why I'm just rambling to myself, it's how I fill the dead time. So if I do 50 videos per page, I have. Let's just click this button and see where it takes us. So that's 200, 300. All right, it's still clicking. I think, yeah, right around, I think probably 400 or so videos on this channel. Maybe a little bit more. I don't want to waste time by just clicking through it, but quite a bit. And some of those have been viewed a lot. I've actually been having to go back and try to hide some of the videos because the information is not relevant anymore. Like, I just hid the original How to Crew Your Interceptors video. There's been so many new officers that have come out since then. So, yeah, Thomas has 1, including this one. Bam. How's the house donations going? Oh, they got asked on YouTube. We are currently right under 3,000 out of the 30,000 goal. So it's moving. You know, I haven't reached it yet. You know, hopefully there is some rich benefactor out there that wants to, you know, buy the house itself. One can always dream. But for now, we'll just keep working on it. If y'all want to help out, PayPal, Venmo, and thank you for asking. That way I didn't have to do some weird, awkward plug where I made y'all listen to me rattle off these things just in the wind. Next up is from Zack Attack. What server-wide events have you heard of different servers planning that have been successful in creating a more community-oriented server? So one I suggested to Fred is a football game. Now this is a little complicated. And this was created by IA on server 20. But each ship would represent a position. And then you would actually try to race to the other side of the field. If you reach the other side, that would be a touchdown and you would score points, and then you would reset and do it again. And then you would have things like your offensive lineman would be a semi-strong ship. Think something like Kumari's. And then the running back would have to be something, you know, like a Orion Corvette. Something that you could beat from the other side. And then y'all would have to take turns blowing each other up, making moves, and then trying to move down the field. And yeah, you would have to repair and everything, but it's a fun thing. It's different. You're using cheap ships, and you're just kind of doing something that the server would never do. And you could draft players like, hey, OPA has got the head quarterback on the, Afritalis Miners. And then, TTN has got the star running back for the Raytor Romulans. Whatever, just something fun. Think of something, use your imaginations. Most of you were children at one point and, had some form of thought process. You might not now, but maybe at one point you did. Just anything like that. I mean, my favorite is the race around the galaxy. Like, get 6 alliances, you line them up all on the same starting point. They have to complete obstacles, they have to go through different planets and different systems, and make them actually compete and have fun. And the winner gets to crack a base and drain it, and that alliance gets the entirety of the base. Something like that. I think that's a lot of fun, and it would also help ease some of the tension sometimes, where you get in these servers that everybody hates each other. Well, it's tough to hate each other when you're doing something fun, unless just that person is just a complete knob. And if that's the case, then honestly, the server probably doesn't like them anyway. So who cares? So next up is Scythe Synth. What video of yours are you really proud of? Was your favorite episode? And how'd you get Dax to mention that Spock doesn't go on the Enterprise? I paid her. And for the first one, what video am I really proud of? I've got a lot. I mean, I've got some that are extremely informative. I've also got some videos that are just goofy. I love the intro I made of Scopely raiding the house to take the 4-star gas. That is hilarious to me. That's just I love that. Is it my favorite? I don't know. I really like tomorrow's video, if I'm being completely honest. I love the intro I made for it. It's a little bit over the top, a little bit dramatic, which is me. I mean, they really should select me to be on The Bachelorette, because I would be like the Waboom guy. None of the guys know what I'm talking about. The girls do. I would just be that entertaining dude for 6 episodes before I finally get voted off. I am that lame, awesome dad joke goofball. So I enjoy tomorrow's video. Make sure you watch out for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Surprisingly, not a lot of the guys going, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. So we have a lot of Bachelor watchers and Bachelorette fans here on Server 50. Shout out. It's pretty awesome. Let's see what else. Jacques Quams? How do y'all say that name so I don't butcher it? Any help? No? No help? Wow.
I don't know who that is.
All right, well, Jacques, Jaffrere, whatever. For mid-level 20 players, which upcoming ships should I concentrate on versus skipping? Basically, focus on every specialty ship and skip every ship except the Saladin. Honestly. I would skip the Kira. You can build the Vocalist. Don't take it past tier 7. You can make a legitimate case for skipping the Kamara. You can also build it. That's fine. Skip all the level 26 ships. Build the Vidar at 25. Build the Horizon at 26. 27, nothing there. 28, build the Stella. Build the Saladin. Build the Discovery in the 20s. Yeah, I mean, really all the specialty ships. Build the Franklin at 18 or 20. Build the Botany Bay at 18. Really focus on all the specialty ships, because they're going to pay you a lot and help you a lot later on in the game. Incognito. Often find that as these arcs grind on, by week 3, all the excitement and mystery is gone. Thoughts on making the arcs longer, but making the segments in them episodes, adding in new content and spins on current events weekly. Keeping people on their toes and not binding them to a long, repetitive grind, but definitely log in to see what this week has in store for us. Rotating event store rewards, if not a free market and a trading hub. Sir, you started off so strong, and then you just got too unrealistic. A trading hub, a market? What is these words that you are using? Incognito. None of that is feasible. Stop asking silly questions. I like the idea. I like the rotation, which is what they basically try to do now. They just don't do it in an exciting way. They're rotating the same boring events that we've done for 2.5 years. They need more exciting things. They need things like scramble communications, style puzzles, and everything to be more of a rotation item. Maybe not as complex and complicated that takes, an hour to do, but little things that are fresh, new, fun. Really, they need Gordon Ramsay to come in. They need Gordon Ramsay to come sprinkle some basil on something and make it fresh and exciting and a new menu. That's what we need. Somebody needs to clean the grease traps and invite Gordon Ramsay over to the house. Late to the party, you recommend building and scrapping G2 ships, specifically the Envoy. How do you get enough parts to do these continually? besides Latinum. And what about the ship XP? So killing lots of separatists helps with that in terms of the parts and the blueprints, and then auto grinding them in augment space, leaving them in the tier 1 augment system and just letting them grind and blow up and go pew pew bang bang. What's the point of par steel, titanium, and lithium factories? No point at all. They're terrible, they're broken, they're crap, and we've asked for a long time for that to get fixed. Supposedly they're looking at it, but if I had $1 for everything that they're looking at, well, I wouldn't need a YouTube channel and I wouldn't need your donations. But I do. So, PayPal. Rusty Irish. Huh. I see what you did there. Why don't all the officers come up for recruiting? Example, the mud officers. Well, that's because some of the officers are behind the faction stores, like most of the mud officers and the augment officers. And some of the epics will get into the transporter pattern store. But the reason is because they're doing a variety of ways for you to earn them. Just really, because I'd also add that if you had everything in the ultra and the premium boxes, it would take you so long to get anything because you would just simply be flooded with too many one shard pulls of Zal, Decius, Vixus, Avix, just all these officers you don't even want. So a lot of them get shoved in the stores, which I really don't mind, like the Rogue store and the Augment store. That way you have to go through those stores to procure them. And that prevents the ultras and the premiums and the standards from just getting too full, which they're already pretty daggone full now. I'd argue to say that there's too much in them as it is, but that's kind of an opinion thing. So it really depends on how y'all feel on that one. I feel like there's too much as it is, though. So I think they need to cut back. Somebody's mic is hot. I can't tell if somebody's asking a question or if we're just rolling. Cool. I think we're just rolling. Key says, just unlock the Rogue Faction store. How do I go about earning Rogue credits? So there's a research that gives some credits. Also, if you kill the hostiles, you have the directives rep and credit turn in, which is right here, to get the security codes to then turn in. This will give you more rep and help you level up your rep store. And that next question is from Smeg Troll. That is a disgusting name. This will give you more rep and help. That is a gross name, sir. You should be ashamed. Gross. Everybody wants to know, when is Jayla being released? Never. I really have no idea. It's been almost 2 years, so hurry up and wait. It's not really what you want to hear. How did you start ahead, talk smack, and then still let Jay Grand beat you to triple lock? Well, so that I could do things like this, I had to sacrifice. I really have no idea. War Dog, I'm going to have to keep you on server. War Dog, I'm going to have to because you're feeding back really bad. Thank you. Yeah, though, my bad. I mean, I got really excited about it that night, and then I literally haven't ground any reps since then, so I'm still sitting at like 6.5 million. So, yeah.
Potentially beer was the answer to Smack Talk getting y'all fired up. I tried to keep the motivation going, dude.
I appreciate it. I do. But, it's tough because, I'm working on a new account on Server 48 simply because I want to redo my camping at level 14 video because it's been 2 years since I put that out and so much has changed. So now I've been focusing on this level 8 account doing 400 missions I hate. And, it takes away from my grind time. Rebel says, how did you get so much Latinum? So at level 39, there's an event that comes around that's in Latin that I cannot pronounce because I don't speak Latinum, but it's like Sci Visus Parabellum Broccoli Ketchup. And it gives me 20,000 lat every time I complete it. So I've been doing that for 3 months now. So that's how I've been, every time you see me, you're like, he's buying more packs. No, I'm just doing the Sci Visus Broccoli Carrot event. That's what I'm doing. If you don't believe me, ask anybody who's level 39. It's the greatest. If there's one great thing Scopely's added to the game, it's that event at level 39. It's amazing.
I just did it recently, and it was a good one.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it helped you level up your jellyfish and everything. It's really good. Really good. Joe Nobody, over the course of many months of play, I have had a handful of players claim that they put up some form of overnight shield only to find themselves raided in the morning way before the shield would have expired. It was suggested to me that there's an occasional bug in which one of your overnight miners was hit is mistakenly recorded as your tacky miner. Can you comment? Joe already made a video about that. Yes, that's a thing. Yes, that's a thing. And yes, Jake, I can see your chats, but I'm looking at 3 screens right now, so I'm all over the place. Yes, Jake, that is a thing. That is a bug that seems to come and go here and there. That's why I tell people, do not leave ships out at night. Don't. It's dangerous. If you get raided in the morning, make sure you took screenshots. You shouldn't have to. I'm not telling you it's your fault. I'm not trying to victim blame here. But if it happens, Scopely will refund you. And I've got many cases of Scopely refunding resources when people were able to prove that's what happened. So just sucks that that's a thing. Sucks that's a thing. Thomas, I'm aware. Server 19 lost to server 11. Shout out server 11. Late says if you pretty sure somebody just answered that question, so we'll skip through that. Joe says, is there a change in the works to allow players on the same team to scan each other? Nope. The lack of ability is not only perplexing, it's frustrating. I agree. Not being able to check to see what is left in a base if they're being raided, nor being able to inspect the crews on their ships is counterproductive to Alliance play. Agreed. No argument. So you did used to be able to do that, and it was literally a bug that they fixed. So if that makes any sense to you. Like, that was something that you could do for about 2.5 months, and they took it out. So, bad, Scopely. Bad. Any news on when we'll see another bonus refinery? Clown Hunter, typically the refineries come between arcs, so they aren't always consistent with that. They've had many bonus refineries that were planned for a month that they would push 1 to 2 months back. I would expect another bonus refinery soon after this arc ends. In terms of it's probably something that they've thought about and scheduled. Whether it happens, well, welcome to the wonderful world of Scopely where things don't always happen as promised, but you're still expected to pay for them. So be on the lookout for it soon. If it doesn't happen, then I didn't lie to you. When are you doing Jackbot games again? Tell you what, Freya, when I make it to $2,500 donated to the house fund, I will have a Jackbox night. We'll start doing it that way, encouraging people.
That is so unrealistic.
Unrealistic? Wow, thank you for shooting down my dream of owning a home. Jerk.
You're in the right market to sell anyway. I don't know why you're holding out on that.
Jerk. Anyway. What would you recommend if I spend my lad on? I have 40,000, but you can't buy uncommon with it. Still buy common recruits. Any creative ideas? Hoard it. I use mine for ship parts and commons that I need at higher levels. So you start saving, you start needing, there'll be times where I need to spend 10,000 on a ship to get the parts that I need instead of having to grind them. So I would say save them for now. Use them on speed ups if you really need them. Repair speed ups if you need them, things like that. But what is a better hull breach crew, Lorca or Kang? Well, for what purpose, Dion Jin? Because both have a very good proc rate. Lorca, when upgraded, is the best burning officer in the game. At tier 1, Lorca is not the best. Still good. But there are certain situations where I would rather have Kang. Very, very limited because Kang doesn't work how Kang is supposed to. That being Kang only works for 2 rounds instead of 3. Kang is broken, one of the many broken officers in the game. But at the same time, Lorca is also a very good officer. But doesn't get really good until his proc rate increases as he's leveled up. So, any faction mine? Our faction miners are the only ones to mine in deep space. No, Interim. If you caught my level 30 or going 40 plus video, if you move out to the deep hubs, for example, I'll pull one up here just because we're on screen and I want everybody to be, edified. So if you look at, say, I think Zozum, it's a level 40 system. It's a warp range of 64. I think Zozum is a hub system. I know for a fact that the Hollis system, HOLLES, which is 43, warp range of 75, a maxed Enterprise can get there, or an Enterprise at tier 7 with TOS Scotty, TOS Officer plus Cadet Scotty can get there, I think. But anyway, if you relocate your base to the hub system, then you can use a Horizon or even down to a Botany Bay to fly to any of the other systems inside the hub. So if you're living in, say, Luoman, then you can fly to Hollis, which is a 4-star gas system, and collect that gas with your Horizon. Fun little fact if you didn't know. And now you know. Hopefully, you're here. If not, shout out to you when you watch it later. Jack says, newer to the Enterprise, Spock stays on the Sally. What is your best all-around crew for a Tier 4 Enterprise? Well, what crew do you have, and what are you usually fighting? I would say TOS Kirk, TOS Uhura, and Khan is a completely good, loadout for if you're fighting most ships in that range. You could get very specific and put on Marcus, Kang, or Sharvanik if you're fighting explorers, battleships, and interceptors. Depends on what you're going at. It really depends on what officers that you have. So, what is the best way to acquire Khan? The Swarm Sunday missions. Literally the thing going on right now. Now, you got to be level 28 to see this. You can also get Khan from the faction store with the augments. But right now, we've got the Swarm from Beyond. If you are level 28 or higher, both events will give you Khan at the end. So that'll help you unlock him. And then, of course, the transporter patterns. Khan is definitely I wouldn't say top priority, but a very good priority to spend on. That makes sense. Mara also, once you max out Mara, you'll start getting transporter patterns. So another good reason to make sure you're doing that every day. I do it because I need the titanium. I'd be broke. I'd be broke. I don't try to be broke like that, but I'm broke like that. So, yeah, titanium be killing me in this game. I spent, I think, 300 million titanium to get my ISS jelly skin. Man, it wrecked me. I like the ISS jelly skin. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gorgeous. I love having the USS Constellation all battle damaged and everything. Like, as a kid, I used to try to have, if I would buy toys, like, say, the Gundams and stuff, I would love to get the battle damaged ones. I think it just looks cool. And it's a great aesthetic. So I love mine. But once I did that, I was done. I can't afford to do another one of those things. I'd be wrecked if I tried. Let's see what else we got. What is the best? Oh, we did that one. Is it worth tearing up the Devore? Yes. As you tear up the Devore, you will get better, or your refinery gets better for the Devore, which means you're getting more Latinum. So yes, you do want to tear it up because that means you're able to then turn in and get more Latinum. It's something that I've been struggling to do consistently. So my is at tier 6, I think, tier 5. So I get 170 Latinum from a single pool. And that little bit will add up once you start leveling up your Devore, but you just got to actually get around to doing that. Stop being a lazy nincompoop like Revdeuce. Do it. Do it now. Shame on you if you don't. And let's see. Thoughts on how to proceed from 28 into the low 30s. Max out a Saladin, and there you go. You're ready. Max out Saladin, you're ready. Do your research. Focus on stuff like that. I'd say get your Vidar and Franklin up just to make things a little bit easier. But definitely get that Saladin up because that Saladin is going to work in PvE, PvP, and it's just sexy. Sexy. All right, that is all the written questions we had here on Server 50. If y'all have any voice questions, we can also start doing some of the questions in the YouTube channel. So, nobody?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, the pop down thing, every time you kill something and you're watching it, when are they going to get rid of that? I don't mind something saying someone started an Armada or something like that, but that just is annoying.
The banners.
Yes. The banner that props down says, you just killed the swarm.
So supposedly they're working on banners because they realize that they're annoying. That said, I don't know when that actually is going to get released. So when we talked about the instant repair Latinum button coming forth, I knew that was coming in a short amount of time, and they've been working on it a while. The banner thing is something that they've acknowledged is very annoying to the players, and they do want to work on, but it's also not something that's been on their top priority list. Their top priority list, and I know this is laughable for most of you, has been working on the lag for territory because they really want to, I guess salvage is the right word. They don't want people to abandon the territory idea, but Yeah, that's definitely a quality of life thing that could be added to the game, along with the universal translator. Not something that really affects the U.S. servers as much, but if you ever had to play on the European or the Asian servers, it's incredibly annoying that there's no translator there. What else we got? Who else? Freya, I know you got a million questions.
No, I'm being quiet since we're still like not in safe zone.
Okay. Keep your secrets. Anybody else got anything? Or we'll start answering some YouTube questions that we randomly find out.
Yeah, Rev, I got a question for you.
A load of the ring reference at me.
I did. What's up, Bloody?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I don't know if anybody realized, but I guess a couple of updates back on the Klingon faction store, a couple of ships were removed. Has that happened before? I mean, I've never seen that.
So the ships aren't... They're still there. You just have to get to a certain rep level to see them now, which is actually how it originally was. And then it changed, and now it's changed back. I don't know if that was intentional, but I know a lot of people had reached a rep level, but were still too low in level, and that's what I'm talking about. They removed it. So if you were, say, level 33, you couldn't start working on a Pilum unlocking or a Coronar. That's how it was originally designed, so that you couldn't start doing that until you actually went into the 40s. And that did change recently, and don't worry, people noticed. I don't know if it was intentional that was supposed to change yet. It's not something I've had a discussion with them on. They are aware it's changed, and they have, I think they talked about it on DJ's show, talked about a little bit of it changing. But we'll see if that is actually something they change back. I don't see why they wouldn't, because, it's not a money costing thing for them. But we'll have to wait and see.
That's good to know. Thanks. I was a little worried there I wasn't going to be able to get those top level ships.
No, that's how it originally was if you weren't level 39, and it worked the same way in the actual ship button. Like if you actually click the ship button to go to the build menu, you couldn't see at like level 38 any of the stuff. You couldn't see the Tribune, the Coronar, the Pilum, all of that. And that was supposed to change when you hit 39. You get access to new research. You get to see the trees. All that was supposed to expand then. And something happened to where you were seeing that and getting that all immediately earlier on in the rep trees. So their original plan was to keep all that stuff locked behind the elusive level 40. And I think part of that was probably because you still had a lot of servers like your server until recently that was level locked, like you couldn't get past 39. So that was to prevent people from having the ships ready to go as soon as 40 plus came. And that might have been part of their frustration, because I know on server 51, there were several players who had all the blueprints for certain ships ready, and they just leveled up and built them. So there was no extra money being spent to grind and any of that. So maybe that could be the reason why. This is all speculation, though. I do not know for sure.
Thanks.
I've got a question, actually. When do you think they're going to release any TNG content?
It would surprise me if TNG doesn't happen this year.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the second most, if not the most popular Star Trek series of all time. I would be very shocked if it's not one of your arcs this year. That said, there have been things that they've planned that have not come to pass, and you will soon hopefully be getting an update to the roadmap. Y'all remember the roadmap they put out last October? All but one thing in that roadmap has come to pass. They're going to be doing an updated roadmap to show you some of the things that are heading out into the future as well. So keep your eye out on that. As far as TNG goes, I would be shocked if it's not something this year. And I've been shocked before. It happens. More questions, less answers.
There's a couple more questions in the question channel there, Rev.
Yeah, is that number 13? Is that your name, 13? Roman numeral 13? Or is it Two Creepy Cats? So to answer Two Creepy Cats question, yes, it works the same way for the Vidar. When you get the Vidar higher level, you're getting better payouts in terms of the credits for like factions, better rep, better everything. better nano probes for your officers. So you do want to focus on maxing out those ships first before you start really focusing on their rewards. Like it's better to spend 6 months to then max a Vidar and at tier 9 start getting faction credits than it is to split faction credits for 6 months and have a tier 6 Vidar, and I've been getting faction credits the whole time. So level up. So early on, I started increasing rep with Romulans and acquired the Centurion since I don't have a Saladin. Any tips? The tip would be get the Saladin. Centurion's not a bad ship, but the Saladin's better by a lot. I would say go back and get the Saladin. Still use the Centurion, which is good for PvP, but in terms of overall use and longevity, the Saladin's better. You should be dual factioning anyway, so just make your dual faction Romulan and Federation. Next question is from Interim. Any update on when the refinery will suck less? So what you want me to say is, when will the refinery pay out as much as I want it to pay? Because the truth is the refinery actually improves a lot over time. It just never improves to a point where it's satisfying. There's a big difference there. The refinery pays out. You really can't comprehend how bad it was when the game launched. The refinery pays out a hell of a lot more. But it purposely doesn't pay out enough to keep things frustrating, because you still got to rely on events. You got to rely on event stores, everything else. And you got to rely on several things to get the uncommons that you need. I don't see the refinery ever becoming a, this is great, this gives me everything I need thing. Bonus refineries and events are going to be your best way to get consistent uncommon. The refinery is just something, if you get 14 a day, hallelujah. But it's never going to get to where you want it to be. Will it continue to get better? Yes. But it's never going to be the, sweet, I got 200 uncommon today, I can upgrade my Saladin. That's not going to happen. So, what are the best systems for faction grinding miners for each faction? Well, it depends on your level and how high of a rep that you're going for. I know our good friend in this chat, Miss Jagran, was talking about, instead of in Groombridge, what was the 39 that you were grinding in that had twice as many points? Memory Alpha. Yeah, Memory Alpha.
Because my little baby Enterprise is only beginning of tier 4.
Yeah.
So hunting in Groombridge was just impossible to get the 40s and 41s. And the 38s and 39s are a whole lot more valuable in Memory Alpha.
I'll also say there's a couple of tricky systems like that in other places. I don't broadcast this information very often because I don't want certain people who might watch my stream to change things in the game. So there are some helpful tips I am reluctant to give out openly. There are some great things that have happened in the game that are still there now that I hope they never fix, that they might fix, because they'll be like, oh, you're exploiting the system. No, I'm doing what the game allows me to do. So anyway, there's your Memory Alpha. But there's several systems like that. Just do a little bit of looking around and you'll find it. You'll find it. Baby Yoda says, what's the chance of full pulling an epic ship? I mean, it is possible. The ship that has gotten full pulled the most in the game is the ISS Jelly. Like, by a lot. Like, a lot of ISS Jelly has been full pulled. Very few. I mean, I've seen Bortus's, Centurions, other ships, but the ISS Jelly is the most common one. Epics have such a low full pull rate of any epic type. Now, remember that the Armada chests, for whatever reason, don't change past 39, which is another stupid thing that needs to change. And I'm sure Amos, who I still see is here, can testify to how stupid that is. But in general, any rare or uncommon is going to pull a lot higher rate. Because the ISS Jelly is technically a rare ship, its pull rate is higher than the Enterprise or the Augur. So you've got a much better chance of full pulling an ISS Jelly than you do full pulling an Enterprise, which seems stupid, but, well, welcome to the game. If you're new here, welcome. Happy to have you. What's my hope for a feature or a new thing in the game? I've got a long list. I actually have an entire list on my YouTube channel called the Dry Dock series of things that players want added to the game. So you check that out. If you don't see something that you like, well, maybe we can add it. Craig, I do agree that they need to add 4-star ships. What system do you farm level 18 Romulans? The lowest level that you can farm ROMs are level 20s, and that's going to be Davadul Unless it's changed, it should still be Davadul. By the way, I got to recall this Isogen miner. It's OPC, and I don't need y'all filthy pirates coming and smacking my poor Horizon. I think that's my Cavort. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Davadul is the lowest level one. Yeah, it is. So Davadul has the level 20 miners for sure, and yeah, interceptors. It's like here's a 21. It's pretty. You can beat these with Talas that you've upgraded and stuff. Looking for the interceptors, and if you've got like a Turris or a Jellyfish, you can easily take down the regular patrols. Darius says, well, in terms of how you are abusing the system, so why not tell them what's it called when people profit from something and do what they can to prevent a change? Taking advantage of a built-in mechanic. Like, to me, exploits are things that are, I would say things that are illegal in the game. Bots, auto miners, auto farming systems, systems that will auto attack and auto shield, and systems that can scan and find whose base is unshielded. All that to me is exploits and should be bannable offenses. If I happen to know of an officer loadout in the game that helps me finish an event in one shot, I don't think that should be taken out of the game or the officer nerfed because it makes the game easier in an aspect. I mean, I don't agree with that. So. Peaches just shared a great video by Ultimate DJ. I'll also point out that I have multiple rep grinding videos. I recommend starting your rep grind at level 16. That's where I start there, and I cover it in the video. So, do you think you can talk to Scopely about fixing Armada rewards in certain systems like Territory? It gives a handful of Isogen for a big Armada. Yeah, I mean, we can, but I will say that's by design. It's by design. What else we got? Because I think I'm running through the questions already. What else we got? Throw me more questions. More questions.
Hey, Rev.
Last.
Are they planning to fix the Armada pop-up and how you have to click on each ship to get the true Armada power?
Yes. Is it high on the priority list? No. They are aware of that issue and have stated that they're going to fix it, but they're also aware of the fact that the North Star doesn't display mining correctly, and that's been like that since it came out. So think of it like a sticky note on the wall, and maybe one day they'll randomly throw a dart and choose to fix that sticky note.
Wonderful.
But yeah, so I don't mean to sound so negative. I'm really not trying to sound so negative. Scott says muting someone to track them sucks. That's actually something that I do. I will block people in game so that I can track their name changes. Once again, I don't think that's a exploit or a bad. I think that's just smart gameplay. I don't think that should be something that is taken away, but that's also opinion. There's no wrong opinion there. I mean, if you think it should, cool. I just think I like having that. I like being able to track what I consider a troll by blocking them, and I can always check when they change their name or they hop alliances. I know where they are because I've got them blocked, and I just hop in my menu and go, hey, I see you. That's, once again, that's me. And I'm not saying your opinion or you differing there is wrong. That's just how I choose to operate. So.
Hey, I've got a question.
Yeah.
So earlier you said you don't think that we're in line for a server merge yet.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, how do they handle the server merge when there's territories and locations involved?
So territories get reset completely. So all the territories go back to being nobody owns them. Every player will receive a package of goods to make up for losing territories. So every player from both servers will then get dispersed a gift of, particles and Isogen and things like that. And then it'll just be a free-for-all to recapture all the territories.
That's kind of what I was figuring. Thank you for the confirmation.
Yep. That's what I'm here for. And it'll be sexy ginger.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
All right, so here's a good question from Edwina on YouTube, and I don't honestly remember saying this. I'm assuming this is a really old video, so I actually need to find out which one this is so I can remove it. And this is a great example of how the game changes. But Edwina says, you said in a previous video that if you're free to play, it's better to get the Centurion or the Bordist over the Saladin. Wouldn't it be a waste of resources to tell someone to build it? Now, I might have said that in 2019. I very well could have. My position in 2020 and 2021 has definitely been to build the Saladin. But I would say it's not a waste of resources because the ship is used. You would get it at 28 and still use it at 44. So it's just that valuable of a ship due to its weapon firing platform, its first round shot, etc. So I would say whatever video that was, please tell me so I can unlist it because things change. Jags, yes, they are still planning to swap, but that has been tabled for now. Alex says, Rev, when is Scopely going to fix the synergy between Pike and Cadet Scotty? They're not, because it's not broken. The only thing broken is the display. Pike was never intended to work with anything besides attack abilities, like offensive abilities in combat. So he will never work with Stan or Scotty, nor was he ever intended to. It's just one of the many visual errors in the game. So if you're hoping for that, keep hoping, because it ain't happening. What else we got? What other questions, comments, thoughts, donations, gifts? Sorry, I'm just kidding. What y'all got? Nothing? Dean just says that he watched that video the other day of what I was talking about in terms of Bordis and Centurion over Sally. Once again, y'all share me which video it was so I can literally unlist it, because I'm trying to sift through and take down videos that aren't important anymore or aren't as valuable anymore, because I don't want people saying, well, you said this and then you said that. Well, I mean, when you've been covering a game for almost 3 years, a lot of things change. Bill says, are there systems with better ship XP drops? Nope. That is still the most difficult thing to get in the game. Extremely difficult. Extremely. Feature says, any news on new skins? Nope. We haven't even gotten through the old skins. Feature, let alone get new ones. Server 20 merger, likelihood of like 3%, because server 20 is still to this day loaded with way too many freaking people. Server 20 is incredibly active. Incredibly active. John says, don't unlist the video, better to create a do not watch outdated list. I disagree, because I'm always making new videos. As long as I unlist it, it doesn't count negatively against me, and I don't want people watching outdated information. Are there any missions that give Enterprise BPs? There is one mission that gives 5 Enterprise BPs. I don't remember what it's called, but there is one mission, in fact, that does do that. I'm really blanking on what it's called, but there's only one mission. I mean, but it does give you 5. Y'all hit up LCARS to find it, but I don't remember what it's called, but there is one. Yeah, Charles, server 20 is very stable. Like, very stable. Jake says your event store for TOS Part 3 isn't what it's supposed to be. Once I max the limit for BPs for ships, I can't get any more from the event store. I don't know what you're saying, Jake. That doesn't make any sense to me. Everclear says, what is the activity of server 23? I don't know. You would have to tell me. I don't know the activity for all the different servers. I mean, I know it for a lot of them, but not, I mean, I can't tell you what every single server is like. Any chance of any type of resource trading system or market? Yes. This is something that I had a very lengthy discussion with and made a video about last year, an inventory system based off how territory is. It is something that they're thinking about, and they are still considering putting my idea into their roadmap. And they're apparently having creative talks about it right now. Whether it happens, I don't know. But the idea was not a market, because I know that the idea of a market is something that Scopely probably wants to stay away from, because market means you're not buying packs. But an inventory system that you can exchange goods between your alliance members, that type of thing, that is something they were interested in. Hopefully that makes it in. But if it did happen, that wouldn't be until next year at the earliest. So Last, thanks for sharing that. I don't think that lists the mission. There is one mission where you can get those Enterprise BPs.
It's called Specialist.
Oh, is it there? Oh, it's right in front of my face. Thanks, Lass.
Sure thing. You have to backtrack to get the starting mission. It's a mission chain.
Yeah, and there's a system command in LCARS where you can pull up the entire chain, and very useful. Peachy says if you can only buy from an auction house or trading post with LAT, they'd still make money from people buying LAT. In theory, yes. I would then just give you the rebuttal of, would it make more than auctions make them? Like current auctions make them?
Not a chance.
All right, then. Because I'm not sure how server 50 is, but there are several servers where thousands of dollars have been spent on these stupid skins for an individual person. So
I think that's happened here too.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I don't care how much Jeff spent to get his Enterprise skin. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying that as a business, they're going to look at the ways that make them the most money. So it still annoys me, though, that it says Latinum. It's actually gold press Latinum is the picture that they have, not Latinum. Sorry, that's just the Trekkie and me nerding out. Let's see what else we... Scott says, what's the fastest way to get faction points to an epic ship? Vidar and doing dailies. That's the fastest way. Well, what else we got? I heard somebody was saying something right when I interrupted you. Nope. All right, Lane says, any way to get Scopely to offer 3-month peace shields for Alliance tokens in the store? 3 months? I mean, I think there's always a way to get something. The likelihood of that? 3 months? How much would you charge for that? Like 10,000 Alliance tokens? That'd be stupid expensive. And what happens if, like, you get one of those nice shield failures a month in? Like, how mad are you going to be? Military deployments? Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm just... Gosh, this game is so buggy. I'm scared to think of a 3-month shield. But yeah, I think it's a swell idea. It's something that we can shoot up and be like, please do this. Just, will they? I don't know. We can hope. Pray. Hamish says, I agree with Gold Press Latinum. Totally more accurate, but are they strips or bars? That's a good question. These look more like strips of Latinum, but they're still too thick. So they are not bars. They're definitely not bars. But they're still a little bit too thick to be strips of Latinum. They're way bigger than slips. Like a slip of Latinum would be like that little weird border that's in the middle of our Latinum right there. That would be like a slip. So I guess it's supposed to be a strip of Latinum. But if they did their research, they would actually have a pack that was buying strips, slips, strips, and bars. And instead, they've got the vault, which is literally a vault of wasting $100. Which is what I want to do with my day, is I want to waste $100. How do I waste $100, you ask? Well, I buy the Vault of Latinum pack. What other questions we got? War Dog, Zack Attack, Shotgun. I know y'all were asking stuff before. Anything else? Nope. Y'all are too radio shy today. Last time y'all couldn't shut up, and now you're squeamish. What's going on? Is everybody okay? Like,
You're recording it.
I'm just afraid of feedback.
Well, you did feedback once, but I mean, as long as we keep getting questions in and we can help people. T. Bishel, any word on the wide release of changes to 7? Man, dang it. You got me. Normally I weed out the photon token questions, but you got me. No, I have no update. No update. Sella says, why is the $99 for 2,000 Latinum even there? Funny enough, People have bought it. Believe it or not, there are whales who have purchased that pack. Shocking, right? Andrew Parson, thank you so much for signing up to be a cadet on the channel. YouTube channel support means that you love me and I love you. And together we can cover ourselves in syrup and roll around in the snow because now you're part of my family. So that sounded really weird for multiple reasons. What else we got? Ashford says, when do we get the store a la carte? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? What do you mean get the store a la carte?
You can buy what you want individually.
Oh, if they do, they've talked about making packs like that. Is that what you mean? Or the event store? Because the event store kind of is a la carte. So packs, they have talked about that idea. They are looking into creating that. That I would be surprised if that's a 2021 thing. That's probably a 2022 thing. But that is something that they're looking at creating because it's been requested. War Dog says, are you using the same PayPal for the house fund? Shameless plug. I am actually, but I'll go ahead and give you the link right there in both the YouTube and the Discord channels, just because anybody wants to support. I am trying to live in a place that doesn't seep water through the floor. In Louisiana, that's actually very common because, we live in swamps, but I'd prefer a place that didn't. Those places cost lots of money, and if you'd like to make sure that I'm in one of those places, well, do that right there. And also doing so will give you access to special rooms in my Discord. We have game nights, movie nights where we watch videos together. We watch movies. We learned that I actually don't know almost any movie from the 80s and 90s. But yeah, y'all can come hang out, have fun, and get access to special stuff. Yeah. We're also selling locks of Freya's hair. So the next $100 donation gets a lock of Freya's hair. Don't ask how I got it. eBay. I got it off eBay. Rich says, always good to see you having fun and excited. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. And Jeff says $100. Yeah, I mean, it's very good hair. I mean, it's high quality hair, Jeff. I think it's a steal, honestly, because this is some good hair. Have you not seen Back to the Future? I know the plot of Back to the Future, and I know I watched it as a kid. No, I couldn't really tell you what happened in Back to the Future, though. I really couldn't.
Oh, we're back to this now.
Look, people said it, okay? I wasn't trying to start that topic. I'm just saying that people brought it up. We still haven't watched Robot Jocks, which is definitely going to happen on my channel. But anyway, let me get a couple more of these questions in real quick. Oh, let's see. We got one from Hot Tub. Hot Tub with a regional question that has nothing to do with the game. Wife and I are in New Orleans. Congratulations. Where's the best place to buy pralines? Well, I'm assuming you're doing the tourist thing and you're probably near the quarter. If so, Loretta's has got some good pralines. You can also try Leah's, which, see, they both, I believe, are still open. And they're both in that same area. I'm just trying to think if any of these stores aren't going to be open because of the COVID stuff, which we still have here. I think they're open. And you can also try Aunt Sally's. I'm pretty sure Aunt Sally's is open. Now, Aunt Sally's is not in the quarter. That one's in the warehouse district. But there's you three of them. Leah's, Loretta's, and then Aunt Sally's. So look up those three. All of them sell really good stuff. So, for those wondering how I know, well, I know. Kyle Wood, thank you for signing up to be a cadet. Greatly appreciated. You're amazing. Last says, do I hear $1,000? I would probably I would become incontinent if someone donated $1,000 right now. That's like.
Well, I was trying to up the price for Freya's hair because I knew it was more valuable.
Oh, well,
Wait, what?
Fair.
Wait, what?
Yeah, fair. Freya's hair is more valuable than $100, but.
True.
Oh, what's his face says I've got to drive from Georgia to Alabama tonight, which is why I'm on the phone and not on the stream. Still appreciated. War Dog says it's not 1,000, but I threw 20. You're right, that's not 1,000, but it is still appreciated. Not gonna lie, not as much as if it had been 1,000, but it's still greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Game questions. Did I send a box full of dirty socks to no one? No, only because he was very adamant that that was not acceptable. So I wasn't going to do something that he didn't want. He made it very clear that was not okay. So out of respect and no one shall, we did not do that. I do want to give a couple shout outs, by the way, to people who donated to the house fund. I don't know if y'all want me to necessarily say your name, so I'm going to say your short. KT, JL, DM, JG, Steve. Wow. There's a lot of people named Steve. So Steve from Blues Clues. Everybody who's donated so far to help out with the house fund on tonight's stream, thank you so much. And if you got more questions, keep throwing them in. Throw them in and invite your server. We got server 50 here for their town hall, but invite anybody from your server, your Discord. We'll stay live for a good 30, 45 more minutes and talk and chat and hang out. So,
hey, Rev, do you recommend building the jellyfish now that you're at 39 and the server's unlocked? Ascension's unlocked?
Building which jelly? Because I've always recommended building the jelly.
ISS jelly.
Yeah, I mean, I've built mine, so of course, build yours. We build them together.
All right. Thanks.
Oh, V'ger says, is there a VIP monthly viable refinery option in the future? Wow, that's a heck of a whale question. Also, if that ever did happen, the free-to-play would have a fit. You kind of do have that, and that would be the Prime or Prime Gas, Prime Crystal, which it does have an effect. You make about, I'd say, 30% more uncommon a month. So that's there. That's probably the closest you're going to get to that. I haven't heard of an actual like refinery gets better, because if they did, that thing would cost more than $100 for sure. For sure. It'd have to. Is there a mission that requires building an epic? Building an epic ship? Everclear, is that what you're asking? What is your favorite not well-known niche crew? Not well-known niche crew. Okay, this is a tough one, TB, because I actually put out tons of crew videos. That's really tough. I literally can't think of one that I haven't put out that I use regularly. I would say that if you have somebody in Armada running a support ship, 5 of 10, 6 of 10, Ash Tyler is a fantastic crew for running Armadas, especially on like an Augur, running that and then having one ship that has, Giorgio and Burning's going, and everybody's using Burning for Ash Tyler, plus the 6 of 10 and 5 of 10 bonuses for the mitigation and everything, where you're basically affecting phase 1 and phase 3 in a very high degree. That's a super good Armada loadout. But I put a lot of these loadouts on YouTube, so it's tough for me to be like, yeah, this one. Everclear Ascension just requires you to complete an epic Armada. It doesn't require you to build an epic ship. You just gotta. Now you do have to have an epic ship. So you have to have an Enterprise, D4 Augur, or Jellyfish, and then use that in an epic Armada to then win and move on. 510 Kirk Connor on Enterprise. See, I've actually said that one a lot, Craig, so that's not really an unknown one for me. People see me using that one all the time in PvP. Great Turbo Hunt. Is it just mining? Yes. Secondary hostile grinding crew doesn't exist unless you want to count Cadet Uhura, Cadet McCoy, and then Talon. If you're using Pipe Moreau Chin, just use Cadet Uhura, Cadet McCoy, Talon, and do the opposite, like on Swarms or something. But that's why I did a new video about wanting more PvE officers, because there's not a viable second crew, really. I mean, you got the first crew, like the cadets, and that's about it.
Aries just threw out 5, 7, and Carol. Thoughts on that?
5, 7, and Carol? I can't even see how that would be that good. Like 5, 7, and then a lot of other people would be better. Carol sucks. She's bad.
Aries, defend yourself.
Oh, as a defense crew?
He's typing.
I'd still see. No. Like, I would swap Carol out for like a lot more officers in that setup. Like a lot. Carol's bad. She's a really, like, we complain about TOS Spock being an epic that's really not that good. Carol's not good as an epic. Now, 5/7 Con, amazing. Aries says adds to firepower. Aries, that add to firepower is a base increase. To give you an example, the skins that we just wasted time getting add twice as much power as Carol Marcus, and they add almost nothing. She literally does almost nothing on your ship. She's useless. Absolutely useless. Like me going and getting the ISS Jelly Constellation skin does more than Carol Marcus. So that's a vanity item. So, is Scopely going to do something with all these leftover event currencies? You mean like the Batleth tokens that I have? Server 50 don't even know what a Batleth token is. But I'll show you. I got so many tokens. It takes me so long to scroll through my screen. Look at that. Elite Batleth token. Only the OGs know about that one. It's back in the day. Back in the real day. Michael Rouse? Mouse? What is the best Star Trek movie in your opinion? Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And it's not even close to me. Not even close. It's a fantastic movie. Great story. Deep plot. Good acting. And even for the 80s, good visual effects. Very good visual effects. Definitely better than Robot Jocks, which is also amazing, but like in the cheesy B-rated amazing way. Like, it's really enjoyable if you're into cheesy B-rate movies. Who's the worst officer in the game? Keensner. Keensner's the worst. Yeah. At least Mbenga is good for crew testing, because Mbenga does nothing. So just throw Mbenga on there and get you your base set. Did you just say the skin adds next to nothing? It does. I mean, the skin helps. Don't get me wrong. But you compare what a 70% base increase does. Remember that your officer bonus is 300%. So you're literally doing, less than 1/4 of what the officer bonus does. It's a very small amount. It does help. Every percent adds up, but it's nothing to write home about. It's not like Pipe Moreau Chen, which reduces 94% of the opponent's, 96% of the opponent's damage. Well, Jeff, that's why you asked me these things. I could have told you. Like, it increases 70% of the base damage. I mean, it's not a 70% total. Like, you don't go and see a 1 million crit and go, oh, it adds 70%. That's 1.7 now. That's not how it works. It's still cool. Don't get me wrong. And it will help you in hostile grinding. It's just not like an amazing... You're not going to go from killing, one trader, Federation trader, to killing 10 of them. Any chance of getting a Reliant skin? Quapar, I would love a Reliant skin for the Mayflower. Would love that. That would make me just use the Mayflower for the heck of using the Mayflower. That is a fantastic idea. Fantastic. Please post more ideas. Quaper, you have good ideas. What other questions do we have? Hit me with them. Hit me, baby, one more time. See 3 people typing. We got Creepy Cats. Vocalist tier 7 still worth it? Yeah, it's pretty cheap to get to tier 7. So I'd say worth it. It's not amazing, but it's worth it. Everclear says, why didn't the Gladius get the Warbird skin? Because they haven't done any rare skins except for the ISS Jelly. It was all epics, with the exception of the ISS Jelly. So maybe when they add some more skins to the game, they'll do it on the rare ships the next go around. We'll see. Can you explain which territory services are worth the cost and which are not? Oh, that's a tough one because that depends on your group. The 3-star services are just ridiculously expensive. So unless you're in a whale alliance, I'm not actually a fan of spending on those, to the point that my alliances on my various servers, we typically focus on the 1s and 2s and don't really bother with the 3s unless we just need to get Metreon particles for something. It also depends on what your alliance really focuses on. So like with me, we do a lot of PvP. We do a lot of quite a bit of territory capture just because there's always those type of wars going on. So the armor upgrades, the PvP upgrades, those are worth activating for us. Some alliances are more laid back and do nothing but mining. So that's really a question that you kind of have to ask your group more so than me, because it's all about y'all's play style. I mean, if y'all are heavy PvPers, well, then the option's obvious. I mean, but if you're not heavy PvPers, maybe you are, heavy miners, and that's what your alliance does, or you're event people, so you're looking more like repair cost reduction, so you can go do more event grinding to place higher in hostile kill events. That really depends on what y'all are trying to do. TBS says, you don't seem as big of a fan of the rogue faction grind. Are the epic officers available at known associate? At the top level, they are available. It's just overall, that faction store and that research tree are just very underwhelming for me for the amount of work that is required to go into it. There's some good stuff, but overall, it's not really worth me spending every day on compared to like my Vidar and compared to doing my dailies. It's something that I work on a few days a week, or I'm sorry, a few days a month, and maybe once a week I'll try to really get in on it. But territory capture is just a far better tree that has some of the exact same bonuses that the rogue one does. Definitely don't ignore it. I would hate for you to be just getting burned out in the game because you're just spending tons and tons of time grinding out rogue, which is a long grind. Why bother with the regular jelly if you're already in the mid-20s? The only reason to bother with the regular jelly is for when they bring around that PvP event. It comes around, every few months? That random little let's go PvP in our Fendras and... Fendras I don't think count. Fendras do, not the tourists. But Talas and jellyfishes and stuff like that. That'd be the only reason. Paul says remove dead bases, put them somewhere. They already do that, Paul. They already do that. That's already something that they do. It's just it's a long timetable for how that works. But they actually do have a process for that already. What else do we got? Let's see. Captain Buff says, what are some good base defending crews? Shields. That's some good base defending crews. Shields. Don't waste your time doing that for any other reason. If you want to troll people, Harrison if it's a level 1 Harrison, Pike Moreau Harrison in like a Covort or a Horizon is fantastic for base defense if you're trying to troll somebody hitting you. But in general, you don't want to play the live defense game because you're just going to lose a lot of resources. Shield. Just save your time, shield, relocate, go back to the game. Live base, which is one of the reasons that I can't understand why they added TOS Spock to the game. Because base defense is just not worth wasting your resources on. You don't get anything for it. So unless you're just trying to troll people, and if that's the case, just use Harrison. Otherwise, shield. What's your personal opinion on hitting miners in the 3 lucrative token systems? Hit away, Matthew. OPC is OPC. Smack them around. Smack them hard, smack them long. Teach them a lesson for being OPC. OPC is always fair game to me. Now, if your server gets mad at you because you believe that, well, I'm sorry. Don't come to Rev and be like, I got you in trouble. I'm just telling you how I play. No server is going to tell me I can't hit OPC somewhere. But that's me. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to do it. What else do we got? Do you have an eye chart? Do you have an eye chart that shows the particle cost for the territory researchers besides LCARs?
Just some type of graphic that lays it all out, a spreadsheet or somebody's already done.
No. Funny enough, somebody who is from server 173 just sent me one of those for the rogue tree, but I actually don't have one of those for the... Shout out to Quasar for sending that to me. Maybe we can get Quasar to do that for y'all for the... If you like that graphic that I just posted, get him to do that for the territory tree, but I just use LCARs. How much uncommon crystal do you need to max a Saladin? I could check. 6,000? 6,000? Let me just tell you. Let me just do that. I don't want to tell you the wrong number. So you need, see, I was off. 7,617 uncommon crystal to max out a Saladin. Now keep in mind, that doesn't include any efficiency researches you might have done. So that can lower it a little bit. But base cost is 7,617 uncommon 3-star crystal to max out a Saladin. How to defend your base while you're engaged in territory capture? Shield. That's how. Generally, actually, I don't even try to defend my base because they're not going to try to raid my base into territory capture because we've got the whole planet filled up. So I'll actually just have all my ships out, and y'all can hit the base and crack it 1,000,000 times. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I don't care. As long as there's no miners sneaking in and stealing my stuff, crack away. Or I just stay shielded. Solo says, I've been saving rare Armada credits. I'm close to using them for epic ships. Should I open 1 or 6? I open the biggest pool I can with the Armada chest because there's a cooldown timer that's really annoying. Like the epic chest is 7 days or like 6 days and 12 hours or something. So I always do the biggest pool that I can on the rares and the epics just to make sure that I'm getting as much as I can in that amount of time. Sure, I might end up spending more than I need to, but because there's a really long cooldown timer, I just want to get what I can and do what I can as quickly as possible. Andrew says, your TOS video mentioned Stella BPs in the event store. Level up, did the Stella research. Unlike the Rogue store, still no Stella. What am I missing? Send in a ticket to customer support. You should see that. If you do not, send in a ticket because there have been issues with people not being able to see these things, which is terrible, but I'd like to welcome you to Star Trek Fleet Command. I hope you're excited to be here. I hope you love me like I love you. And I'm sorry to just be a continual fountain of disappointment, just to be honest with you. Yeah, like I feel bad. But real quick, this is the first time I'm doing the shameless plug, by the way. Everybody else has asked for the shameless plug. This time I'm doing it. I posted, because not everybody wants to give cash, which is cool. You'd like to see something. So I posted my Amazon wish list. If you want to actually get me something, shout out to Q from server 52 who sent me a Saints hoodie that was off my Amazon wish list. You also will get a shout out if I open a gift of yours on the channel. Shout out to SVS on server 48 who bought me a Star Trek card game box that I opened up, and that video will be out like next Saturday. So if y'all want to buy something that's not just giving me money, you actually feel like you get something back or you give me something tangible, Amazon wishlist is also appreciated. And I think my kids still have some food on there. Sella says, are efficiency research upgrades worth it? 1,000,000% yes. Yes. Like Daniel Bryan says in the WWE, yes. Efficiency research is one of the best things that you can do in the game. To the point where you can get, depending on what level you are, you're talking about some researches lowering costs by 40%. You know, if you've maxed them out and everything and gotten to a high level. Obviously, you're a high level player. I've gotten that. But yes, they definitely add up. They're definitely worth going for. Do that for sure. You want to do all those that you can as soon as you can. It's one of the reasons that I haven't gone to the 40s yet is because I haven't finished my efficiency researches. When I do that, I will be leveling up finally into the 40s due to the lowered activation cost of the 4-star ships. For now, though, I'm focusing on upgrading ships and doing my researches, so I'm chilling here for a little bit. Miss Grizzlies says, what about something like being able to set up 3 officers for different tasks rather than scrolling to find officers you need in case of sudden PvP action? So you're kind of describing 2 different things at once. Number 1 would be the officer swap, like having crew presets. That is something that they're working on. I do not have an ETA of when it is being released, but that is something that they are working on. The second thing would be like doing tasks would be the away missions, which is something that will come out either the end of this year or next year. Nick says, if I were Romulan and Klingon dual faction, how would I get this out in? Kill lots and lots of Federation ships. You do not need faction rep to build a ship. So if you're negative 2 million in Fed, but you have got the Saladin blueprints, you can build it, assuming you're level 28. Tracy says, is there a way to get both phantom and quantum particles without owning territory or spending money? My research is bottleneck. No, there's not. You've got to own the territories to get the particles. That's one of the things. Pronounced grizzly. I'm really bad with names, so I'm just going to call you Mrs. G. And we can agree that you're awesome and I suck at this. How about that? Bingo. Creepy Cat says, should I wait until I finish most of my researches at 25 or rush to 28 and stay there and do all the research? Rush. Get to 28. Build that Saladin. Start killing OPA. Do it without prejudice. Kill them all. Especially Freya. She's the worst.
Rude.
Factual statement, though. Yeah. 28. Go up and do
Why are you
it.
so mean to your twin? Why so
Because since when do siblings like each other? Captain Buff says, is there any good reason that a level 50 player can hit a level 33? Someone who doesn't have a 3-star epic ship can get squished by a Tribune. Yeah, it's called... There's no rule that says America can't invade some small country in the Middle East, so why can't a level 50 ship come blow you up? Most games like this don't have level brackets at all. Second Galaxy, Nova Empire, Eve Echoes, they have no brackets. It's like you could be a brand new player and here comes a big old battleship, smack. I mean, while I do agree that being hit by that is annoying, on the flip side of that, why shouldn't they be able to do that? I mean, you ever watch Star Trek and they go, well, we can't use the Enterprise D here. That Packland ship is too small. No, you smack it. So, not the answer you wanted, I know. I'm sorry. Dean says, should I sit at 22 and let my alliance catch up or push to 23? Don't worry about your alliance. Push, baby. Because you want to get to 25 and get that VDAR. You want that VDAR. Yes, you do. Get you that VDAR. I tell you what, you'll be very happy when you get that VDAR. Yeah, buddy. Good stuff. Oh, gosh. J Grand is typing. What we got on the J Grand train? They stopped. Laz, what you need?
I was saying she has to type so she doesn't, say anything wrong.
She is a bit of a potty mouth. This is true. Terrible. Absolutely
doing well.
ridiculous. Yes, you are. And I'm very proud of you for not saying you're doing good because you're not fighting crime. And I always correct people when they say that. So
Proper English is proper English.
Paul says, why so long on adding stuff to the game? Doesn't make sense. See, now that's something I've never really got because they add stuff literally every month. I think the argument is, why are they adding stuff that I want? But we've got new events and a completely new mechanic this month. Last month, we got a brand new event type. I mean, they are always adding new stuff. It's just not always new stuff that we find good. So I think that's kind of more where the argument needs to go at is they're adding new stuff. We need to make sure that they're adding stuff that we want. Zoomer says petition for Rev to always call it a VDAR. Yep. I've got a song about my VDAR that I'm going to play on my guitar. And then I'm going to go hang out with my sister, if you know what I mean. So Corey says, is there any way for a free-to-play to get the VDAR? The event store. You can do it. Ashford says, ticket event is crap. When are they bringing back the burn? Oh, say, this ticket event was crap. Last month's ticket event was great. When are they bringing back the burn? Never. You have received your penicillin shot in-game, and you will not be unreceiving it. Paulo says, this event has the VDAR, and we get some events that give it. You do. So, the Cosmic Cleanup plus the event store is the current way to go through it. Andrew says, can Scopely please implement transporter technology for moving officers between ships and the station? I support that idea. But, I don't know. I mean, we can always push forth ideas to them. We can always do that. Stargazer says, level 25 with a tier 7 VDAR. Should I get a second one? I mean, if you want one, you can. I wouldn't necessarily say that's super advantageous because you're limited in tokens anyway, but you can. Can you organize the players into buying Scopely stocks and prep for a hostile takeover? Scopely is not a publicly traded company, or else everything that you're giving me for the house fund, I would actually give to Scopely stock. Because as much as we can hate them, they obviously know how to make a crap ton of money, and I would invest every penny. But they're not publicly traded. Private investors only, and I'm not part of that exclusive club. Ask some of your well friends, they might know. But I'm not part of that exclusive club. I would definitely buy stock in Scopely. Bill says, why is it that a 1 million point ship can attack me, which is 200,000, but I can't attack a lower ship? Oh boy, we just answered that question. Because game? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say, Bill? What do you want me to say? I don't even know. What do you want me to say? It's Only Chaos says, stop by server 24 sometime. We'd love to have you. Invite me on Discord. Shoot me an invite to your Discord. Schedule a time, and we will come do a town hall. This is the second one we've done with server 50. And yeah, I'm always happy to come help out anybody that I can. Anybody that I can. TB says, I'm level 31. Any way for free to play to get the North Star, or did I miss my shot? You're probably only going to see it in the store for $20. I don't think you'll see it in the event store anymore. You're probably past that. Are the Borg space missions ever returning? Borg will be returning. I don't have details of what that looks like. So. Billy Bob says, I have a tier 4 auger. Will it be strong enough to go to level 37? Currently 35. I mean, yes. It would. I'd say get another tier, honestly. Because most faction ships don't really start getting good till about tier 5. So I'd take it up a little bit more. But, I mean, you could get to 37 and still be able to operate all your dailies and everything with a tier 4 auger. And you're not exactly opening yourself up to getting hit from more people up top. It just kind of bugs me when I feel like my ships are too low for my level. But you're not suddenly going to get hit by 55s or anything, because there are none yet. So you're fine. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Interim, I'm happy to stop by. Very happy to do it. Rebecca says, instead of a box of dirty socks, can we please send him a box of clean and non-match socks? Ooh, that's a good idea, Miss Rebecca. I wonder if he would accept that. I mean, he was very vehement or very adulent. I'm losing words now. That dirty sock thing couldn't happen. But maybe if we sent him like pink and teal socks or something. But, one of each color, like 20 socks, 20 colors. What else we got? Dark Trooper says, what's the point of the Doomsday Transwarp cell? There was one event that we had to do that required you going into the Doomsday areas that required a cell. And that was literally it. I had like 60 saved up thinking that there was going to be this big thing we had to do. But yeah, Mr. Becker, I remember. And normally I would, but he was very, very like, do not send that to my house. And I get that. I mean, if somebody is very strong, don't send it to me. I'm not going to. Not that I disrespect the people who donate to the channel, because I'm incredibly grateful for anybody who does that. But if he's not game, I don't want to make him do that. So,
tip with those transwarp cells: if you are able to kill the 37 worms that are in that 38 system, you get through the ticket event for killing worms way, way faster than trying to do it with 35s and 36s.
You do. And that is one of the only benefits. But at the same time, I was expecting a lot more from that mechanic than what happened. You know what I mean? I was expecting a lot more. Yeah. Any truth in potential server merges? The shock, there's always server merges going on, just not for server 50. I'd be shocked if server 50 had a server merge. What's your favorite Star Trek TV series? I've actually got a video coming out about that probably in a week or two. But that would be Star Trek The Next Generation, followed by Star Trek DS9.
Not Below Decks?
Haven't finished Below Decks. Below Decks is very quickly moving up my rankings. But there's also that pesky word of nostalgia where I don't know if it'll ever be able to surpass what I grew up with. Like, let me see if I can find the picture. It'll be the first time I think I've ever shared this on stream. But I have a picture of me at like a year old watching Star Trek The Next Generation on like one of those old boob tube TVs with like knobs on it. Like, so there's just a nostalgia thing of what I grew up with and what Star Trek was to me as a kid that, you know, as much as I enjoy a series that might come out, I don't know if it can ever surpass what that feeling is like. You know what I mean? But I still really, really like Lower Decks. I mean, that's one of the best things I've watched this decade. And I've watched WandaVision. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm actually looking for that picture, sorting through the massive amount of pictures I have on Facebook. Oh, here's one of me at T-ball. That's nice. I was like 5 years old there. Still looking, by the way. Y'all can continue to ask questions, and I will answer them as they come up. Man, don't you hate when you can't remember where you saved a picture? Keep asking questions, y'all. I promise I'll get them. I promise. On my mama. I'll do it for you. That's not it. Voice questions. 17... Yeah, go for it.
Is the level 17 separatist the best way to get tourist blueprints?
Tourists? I get my envoy BPs from there. I would have maybe the tourist is so low level. That's really tough.
I was just scrapping it for the uncommon gas.
Yeah. Maybe. I honestly don't have the answer to that one. I mean, that's where I go for my envoy stuff. Where is this photograph? I've got it somewhere. I could have sworn I had it as a profile picture at one point on my Facebook page, but I'd be very mad if I lost that. That'd be like, that's the youngest photo of me that I'm aware exists in the world. So now I'm just hunting down it. Facebook used to be a wonderful place, and now it's very... Oh, here's a very cringy photo. Y'all want to see a cringy photo of Rev Deuce? Like super cringy? No? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is a photo from me in New York. There you go. Y'all can enjoy the very cringy photo while I look for the non-cringy, nostalgic, sweet kid photo. It's on the YouTube channel now, so I'm not sure how many of y'all are watching it. I didn't want to share it to the Discord in case somebody saved it forever and tormented me for the rest of my life with that one picture. So yeah, there's the cringy me in New York picture.
That's okay. Now it's on YouTube. We can get it from there.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, yeah, just go ahead and ruin my life. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, I'm really struggling to find this thing. We just might have to be disappointed in Rev because he can't find the picture.
Never disappointed in Rev.
Oh, one of my first girlfriends. So sweet. Man, I was really small here. Oh, I'm gonna have to show y'all that picture. Jeez. Still looking. Not there. Yeah, we'll just have to find it later, everybody. I know I've got it saved on some random flash drive or something. But if nothing else, y'all got to see. Do y'all want to see a cringy photo taken of me with a mohawk playing guitar?
Of course.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what this stream has evolved to or de-evolved to, but that's where we are right now. So I can't wait to check the YouTube comments because I haven't looked at them in like the past 7 minutes. Deuce's wallet chain must have been epic. Fobs, I definitely did have a wallet chain while you're making jokes. That was definitely a thing. Let's go take a look-see at this other one. That's the Borg Queen, not what we're looking for. So downloads. Here we go. There you go. It's on YouTube now. I'm not sure the quality of said picture because this was literally taken in like 2009, back when like cameras had half a potato pixels. But there's me, complete shaved head except for a blonde mohawk, playing a really cheap electric guitar. Welcome to my life in the late 2000s. Zoomer, yeah, I did have silver teeth in that picture. I did have silver teeth. Stella says, did you get beat up a lot? No, this is actually when that was cool. Like, that was actually acceptable attire back in the day. Back in the day. Zoomer says, one thing's for sure, you've improved since then. Yeah, I've become more daddy. That has several different meanings. All right. What other questions do we have before we start wrapping up this weird stream? Jeff says Star Trek has helped you greatly. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. What else do we have question-wise? How to build another Rialta? Not possible, actually, Jacek. There's not a way to get more Rialta BPs in the game. Which is weird. It's like the only ship you can't get. It's weird, isn't it? Rebecca says, my Horizon is a tier 3 and I have to pring on the upper deck. How do I get better protected cargo? It's only 12 out of 240. DuPont, 1 of 10 to pring, or all officers that increase protected cargo. So shoot for those. DuPont is one that's currently in the event store. And one that I'm trying to take to tier 2. I've got him at tier 1. But even at tier 1, you're getting a nice increase. Now, my T'Pring does like a 300% increase, and a tier 1 DuPont does 50%. I'm trying to get mine to tier 2. But T'Pring, DuPont, and 1 of 10 will give you a little bit of an increase. You can also use a Joaquin, the green augment card, to give you an increase to protected cargo. The good thing about using DuPont, though, is he'll give you synergy with T'Pring, so he'll also increase your gas mining efficiency. Zoomer says, after seeing that, here's a fun thought. What would be going on in Rev's life if he wasn't into Star Trek? Zoomer, the weird thing is, I've been in Star Trek my whole life. That was actually what started us down the whole look at the picture train. I've always been into Star Trek. Like, when I had a mohawk and a grill, I was into Star Trek. Like, there's never been a time in my life where it wasn't Star Trek. So, I mean, here's a picture of me wearing a deer head. Yup. Exactly what you just heard is what you just heard. Me wearing a deer head. I'm just going through like really old Facebook photos, and that's why I have all these weird awkward pauses and awkward insertions. Wow, I was really wearing a deer head. Me with Starbucks. Me with a firearm at like age 3. That's probably not safe. Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, weird life that I live. Star Trek's always been a thing. Shadow says, is it just me or does the Rialta look like a low-budget Saladin? Not just you. Not just you. Jorge says, any news as to when the loyalty chest? Nope. If I had it, I promise to God, that would be the first, like, if I find out when photon tokens are happening, you'll have a video at 3 in the morning. I swear to God. I've gotten asked that question so many times. As soon as I know, just so people stop asking me, the video will drop. I don't care what time it is. It will drop. I swear to God. I swear. I promise. I promise. I want to give a quick shout out to, well, okay, Mr. Rebecca, how would I shout that out? Because I feel conflicted messages from how you said it at the beginning versus post said, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like, you said don't say some things, so I don't want to say things unless it's the right thing to say. Makes sense. I feel so awkward saying that. Like, I don't know how to word that at all. I'll let you say that. Let's see. Robert says, do you think they will keep the event store in the upcoming arcs? No, not this one. This event store is going to stop, and you'll get a new event store when the new one runs around. But yeah, you'll get most of the same stuff that we get now. Level 23 with a tier 6 Vocalist. Should I keep investing in it? Any tips? Sapphire, I would say stop at tier 7 and cut it. Cut it. You need to cut it. Do you think that they'll keep the event? Oh, I just answered that. Duh, Ref, shut up. What other questions do we have that I may have missed or skipped?
There's a couple more questions on the questions for you on their
Any
Discord.
news on refining rates mellowing out? No? Question mark? Question mark. Jeff says, who would you use in your Sally for general PvP? The Max Morale crew is always a good go-to. So that would be Bones, Captain, Spot Kirk. You could also do, depending on what you're trying to hit, honestly. Like if you're trying to hit an Enterprise, you want to do Marcus as Captain, then Merritt Krell on the sides. If you are fighting Centurions, then I like to use Yuki, Harrison, and depending on what you've got handy, Khan on the side. There's a lot of different loadouts. The longevity of the Max Morale is a go-to for a lot in the 20s if you've got it maxed. But if you've got some of the other more elusive officers, go for the big damage boost. That's what I like to do. You can also run 5 of 10 as Captain with Kirk Spock, and I see Jeff mentioned that one. That's a good one to affect Phase 1 and Phase 3. Not as heavy as some of the other ones can do, but still a very good loadout. So very, very versatile, the Saladin is, in terms of crews that you can throw on there and be very effective with it. Are hijack ships pointless or meaningful? Andrew, hijack ships are only for collecting. That's all they're good for. They're not good for anything else. How much did booking Nicole DeBoer set you back? I think $100. I think $100. Something like that. Something like that. I actually need to do another one. And I'm raising money for the house fund right now, obviously, but I'm going to try to get John Delancey to do one for me and see how much that cost. So, because I love Q and I have a Q outfit now. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, Fobs. Definitely can confirm that. Sella says Augur Enterprise. I'm always going to say the Enterprise. You're not wrong to go either direction, though. Either way that you go there, you're going to get something good. But in general, the Enterprise is more well-balanced for everything, whereas the Augur is better for specific things. Like, I like the Augur more for Armadas, honestly. If you've got the entire crew running Armada-focused loadouts, like you've got a support ship and stuff like that. But the Enterprise is just the best in general, and it will last very long in PvP because of that ridiculously OP ship ability. So, something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Jasek, what if a survey ship which returning from the raided base is destroyed? What happens to the cargo? It goes off into the ether. It just disappears off into the world. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. The only time that you get that stuff back is if you lose to a hostile, then all that stuff comes home with you. So example, you're doing swarms and you kill 20,000 points and then you blow up. You get all 20,000 when you come home. But if a person blows you up, they're going to take the OPC that they can fit. If they can't fit it all, what they can't fit goes off into the world and you keep the protected cargo. So we'll give a shout out right now to Todd. And he's got 2 D's in his name. So he's like a Klingon because he's got 2 D's. We'll give a shout out to Todd. Thank you for the donation, Todd. You're an amazing individual. Hopefully you stay in school, study hard. And if you don't, well, you're going to end up like me. And we just don't want that. So keep it up. Shout out, Todd. For those who got the double D joke, that was pretty funny, if I say so myself. I laughed. Is it normal for them to change the uncommon race between a 1, 2, and 3 chest? Yes. Creepy Cat says, should we ever max tier the Vocalist for recycle? No. I wouldn't say do that because you don't get any like 4-star for it, so I don't think it's worth it. So you're just going to spend 3-star to then get 3-star back and not really be a buy. It's only Kale says, I really want my last 4 sarcophagus BPs. When the cosmic cleanup runs back around, you will get them. You will get them. So watch out for cosmic cleanup. Tyler says, I'll donate for Q. Feel free to donate for Q. Like I said, that's one of the things that I'm working on next. Like, I'm always trying to find better things to do with the channel and more things to do. There's even another game that I'm testing out now that if you've played AFK Arena is similar to that game that I really, really, really like. So you'll probably hear about that one in the next week or so, but we'll see. We'll see. If we can, should we max the Devore? Yes. Of course you should. Max the Devore. Of course you should. Max the Devore. Yes. Yes. What else do we got? Craig, shout out to that $5 donation. By the way, if you want to donate and not have to have those annoying YouTube fees, yes, YouTube takes 30% of your donation. Can you believe that? Can you believe they would do that? Those filthy, filthy capitalists? Well, they do. There's multiple ways you can donate to the channel. You can purchase something from the Amazon wishlist, or you can donate directly through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or however you like to send money. We have all those options there, but if you really want to send it through YouTube, we'll take that as well. Thank you so much for those who are supporting the channel. Jason says, I'm Polish. My name translates to Jack Beer. Well, Jack Beer, howdy, as we would say in Montenegro, because that's where I'm from. You believe me, don't you? Jeff says, when will I get my next 50 BPs for my second Stella? Am I looking at waiting to the next event store? Yes, you are. You are looking at waiting for the next event store. Jorge says, Rev, what happened to the rumored transporter patterns rework? Still coming. Still coming. Remember, stop expecting things to happen quickly with this game. It doesn't. Some games, devs react fast. Some games, they don't. This is not one of those games. It is coming. They haven't forgot about it. They are working on it. It is happening. Joe says I have like 300,000 event tokens. Better to dump it into UC Gas or take TOS McCoy to 3. TOS Uhura. Take Uhura up. Uhura. Uhura. Take Uhura up. Thoughts on best 3-star uncommon gas? I'm a big fan of Taco Bell personally. I mean, I think that's the best place to get gas. I guess you'd actually call that common gas, but so Taco Bell. Instant answer. Mr. Becker says, thank you, Rev. There can only be one Rev, and he is all smiles. I am. Do you ever wish that you could smile like Phlox in that creepy first episode? Remember the pilot, the 2-parter of Star Trek Enterprise where Phlox like smiles and it like goes up to his eyeballs? It's really creepy. Yeah. To hear, I've already answered that question like 8 times. I simply can't bring myself to do it again. I really can't. Ask somebody in the chat. They'll tell you. Joe says, will there be an event to get salvaged during the normal week? That's something I don't know. I'm going to try to find out tomorrow when I have my conversation with the dev team. I'm going to try to find that one out tomorrow because I honestly don't know. I'm hoping so, but I really don't know. So we're going to try to figure that out. We are going to find the answer for you because we love you. We appreciate you. Bam. Hit that like button if you're watching right now. 216 people are watching this video. Only 38 likes. If you don't beat puppies with kittens, like the video. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Are the arcs going to follow the series orders or are they going to jump around? Jump around. Jump around. Pretty sure they're going to focus on going with what's favorite. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, there could be an exception where maybe like Discovery's got a new season coming up and Picard and like CBS is like, yo, we need you to promote this. We'll give you an extra 1% on the profits. And they're like, oh. But we'll wait and see. Jeff says, I'll never get an offer to buy a second Stella. Nope. Maybe in the pay store, but not in the faction store. So. Duffel Bag Boy. What a weird name. Is the Intrepid or the Bortus a better PvE in the lower through higher 30s? The Bortus will do everything that an Intrepid can at 1/3 of the cost. So it's only Cal. I'll definitely ASMR for the monies. Sapphire, can you ask for double cosmic cleanup as they didn't come around this event store? I can ask anything you want me to ask. I just can't guarantee that it's going to happen. But I can ask whatever you like. You can ask whatever you like, and you can get nothing at all. Victor says, hey, Rev, at what ops level do sarcophagus blueprints show up in the cosmic cleanup? What level you have to be to build that sarcophagus? It's whatever level that you have to be to build the thing, I'm pretty sure. Maybe one level prior. I'm blanking on what level that is, though. Somebody want to help me out real
30.
quick?
It's 30, Rev.
Bam! So 29 or 30 is when you should see that. When's the next faction hunt? Janice, I'm sorry, not Janice. Frigg, I don't have an actual calendar in front of me right now, so I couldn't tell you that. I don't know. How long is too long for camping at 14? It's kind of up to you. You could live at 14 forever and just annoy everybody on the server. Like, people will hate you until they can get to deep space where you can't reach because your stupid jellyfish is sitting on a 3-star node for no reason. I honestly, and I'm going to make a new video about this in hopefully a week or two, but I would say once you've got a few 100,000 of a 3-star saved up and you've got the uncommons to basically get to 14 to 20 in like a few days time, like you've got all the stuff added up and ready to go, then just go ahead and start leveling up. That's what I would do. Why can't you get a second seller from the faction store? I've started. Curly, that faction store mechanic is really wonky. If you've got one already built, it's not showing up for everybody, and it's not supposed to show up if you've already got a Stella. It's supposed to be designed to give people a head start on getting their first one. That whole thing's wonky. So if you've got it working certain ways, don't you tell nobody. Shut your mouth. Shut it. Like, if something's good's happened to you, don't let anybody know. Don't tell nobody. Fob says, my server has had a level 10 envoy sitting on a 3-star node for over a week now. Make you a new account and go blow them up. That's what I would do. I would do it. Bam. I remember back when my server was a little bit younger, having an elite level 14 was like a requirement. Like, an elite level 14 would be like paid by several alliances to come kill stuff. It was a thing. All right, Curly. Well, that makes sense. So if you haven't built it, then the game still registers as you not having one yet. So it'll show you the second one. That actually happened to my level 26 account, 28 account, whatever one I had on the video. That was why that worked that way. But if you've already built it, it's not supposed to show up from what I understand. Good night, Billy Bob. Shout out to Northern Ireland. Shout out to the Republic. Shout out to all the Irelands. All of them. All the Irelands. All the ire from all the land. All right, y'all. We've got a few minutes before we wrap this beautiful thing up. Quaypor says, I'm Fed faction and Klingons have me as enemy. I want to build the borders. What should I do? Kill lots and lots and lots of Klingons. Lots of them. Like so many Klingons. Basically hit anything level 32 up and you've got a chance of that Borders BP dropping. You could also increase your odds by going higher up targets, so like hitting 36s. Now, don't go too high because then you'll just start seeing rares, like in the 39s and stuff. But Joshua, no, I do not think it's worth staying at level 18 just to get a regular jelly. A regular jelly is overrated. Now, if you can get a North Star, sure. But the regular jelly, meh. Curly fries, of course. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to edify y'all, educate you, and make love to you. Dashak, I need to make love to you as well. Shout out you, Fed. Is there a faction lock after 10 million? There is, Kale. 1 billion. 1 billion. So it goes 10 million, then 1 billion. Stella says you said Carol isn't worth it. Which epic officers are? Pike, Kirk, Khan, TOS Kirk, Gorkon. Actually, just probably should pull up my officer list, shouldn't I? That way I'm not forgetting anybody accidentally. Marcus, Sharvanik, Kang. Actually, that might be it. Oh, 5 of 10. See, there was one I was forgetting. 5 of 10. 10 of 10 if you got one, but that's really hard. Giorgio, Lorca. There's only like 4 epics that aren't like super worth going after. Nero is, I mean, you can max Nero, but if you could pick between going after Giorgio and going after Nero, Giorgio like 100 times out of 100. Like, she wipes the floor with Nero. Hardcore. Will Jailer ever be made available? We don't know, Andrew. Jailer's not been available for almost 2 years. We do have, remember, we got the April 1st event coming up. And if you remember, there's a tribble of Jailer. Remember, there's a tribble Jailer. You see it? You see it? It's on the screen right now. There's Triple Jayla. So be on the lookout for Triple Jayla or Jayla. That's crazy. That's like crazy. Maybe. Triple frame also. Joshua says, but even though Carol isn't worth it, isn't the third HS worth saving over the 7? 100%, Joshua. Yeah. I mean, if you can level up, I'm not saying don't level up Carol because you're going to get stats from her for below deck, which is very useful. I'm just saying, like, don't go like blow transporter patterns and stuff to go make her happen. That's not worth it. Celis says that's got to be for whales only. Look, Celis, stop raining on my parade, okay? Let me be hopeful, and then I can be disappointed, all right? I want to be disappointed by myself. Okay? I don't need you to disappoint me. Scopely can do that all their own. You let them disappoint me on their time. Thank you. All jokes aside, y'all are awesome. We've been going 2 hours. We're going to wrap up the stream because I've got to get the video finished by tomorrow morning. Miss Rebecca, make sure that you actually, all of y'all who have wonderful green names and anybody who's donated tonight, make sure you get to me so that you can get the special room in my Discord. I've already shared tomorrow's intro, which I'm excited about. And then I've got to work tonight to get that video ready for tomorrow morning. That'll drop then. And then we will also have some other stuff coming out. So, yeah, I'm excited. Sort of. Maybe. We'll see how the video goes. I have a feeling that they won't like pieces of it, but you know what? That's just how it goes sometimes. And you can't live your life trying to make everybody like you. It's just not how life works. Y'all have been amazing. Server 50, thanks for having me. If your server wants me on their server, invite me over. Hit me up on Facebook or Discord. We'll come to a town hall where we answer your questions, hang out with you. And I think it'll be a good time. Server 50, once again, y'all are awesome. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. And I will be back. The next one I'm doing, I think... I'm trying to remember. What server was that? I think we're working on one for 48. And then there's a European server that asked me to come over. So we're doing a few of them. And we're going to keep doing these as long as y'all have me. So once again, thank y'all. Live long and prosper. Stay safe out there. And I'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thank y'all.